Okay. So yesterday we were talking about the bootstrap classes, which related to the columns and how the column works and how must be, how can we apply classes. And, there are like lots of methods. So to apply those columns classes, and, the row consists of the 12 columns, and, we can, order the columns with the numbers. And also for, for the media queries, there is also the availability as the utility provided by the bootstrap as extra small for the small screens, and for the medium scale screens, and all kinds of screens. So let's continue that one. And now our target was to display the hot or most viewed products by the customer. So right now we haven't touched the back end of the project, but soon we'll touch the back end. And I'd love to share one technique that I cannot wait to share this one technique that I always use when I create an instance with the database. So to connect the instance and fetching the data every time, because when we create the online market applications and all of the e-commerce applications, what they do, they sort of use the database very much, because all of that is dependent on the database server, the data of the user, everything. So creating an instances every time, new instances, creates a lot of problem. And yeah, they often try to use a singleton instance, so the object is created one time, and when the any user finishes its work or do something like that, so that we can also close that on the website close. But that's going to be a new thing. And yeah, I'll share them when the time comes. So let's continue our work in the index.jsp. We were doing our work, so we were making the home page. And now we have decided that we'll be displaying, for instance, I want to display the car model. Yeah, so we want to display the card, right? We want to display in terms of this card, that each product will be having this card view. So it can also have this image, and also the title, the description, and also the button. When the user clicks it, it will redirect it to the details of the product. And we'll also make a plan that what kind of properties shall our product will contain. But for right now, let's dive into this one. So this is the whole code written for us. So I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel here. So if you click in onto this button, copy button, it will be copied to your clipboard. And then when I'll come here, what I'll do here is that I'm gonna paste it right over here, just to what I'm gonna do here is just to indent the code a little bit so that it is readable by the other users as well who are gonna do work on this project. Okay, so we are done with here. Okay, so let's run this project. And yeah, by the way, one more thing I want to mention here is that I'll be re-uploading this code into the GitHub, so that you guys can also get that code easily from the GitHub as well. So don't worry about the code, you will get that as well with the database, by the way.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome, brother. You're welcome. Here we go. That's a bunch of very weird stuff looking. But let me just cancel out these background colors because it's creating a lot of problem here. So let me just cancel out this one. I don't need the primary background as well. Let's make it normal. Okay, so we are here with this. So right now we don't have any images. And I want to, for now, let's try to, gain some image of some product, for instance. If I go to the images and, for instance, I copy any of the product. Let's, okay, so we are here with there. So let's click on the food and, copy, let's copy this M&M. Okay, copy image address. So I'm gonna copy that to here in the image, and there we go. Looks like the binary image, I guess. Binary address, something like that. Okay, so let's refresh this one, and there we go. You see? So it's how beautiful looking is that. Now, the one thing that I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna copy the same thing over and over, because right now, just to demonstrate the example over here. So what's gonna happen here? Now I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna copy this again and again and again. Let me just copy this again. Let's check this out. Okay, so that's it. Weird looking stuff. Let me check. Oh my god. Just wait a second. I guess I copied the wrong instances. Okay, so let's now check this out. Wait a second, please. Okay, this is going to be the 12, this is going to be the 12, 8, and 6. Okay. Let's, try to get work with these two now. Okay, so as we can see that our screen comes into the large category. So what has to do with that? Now, as we can see that this is the column LG6. So I have this large screen. I guess let me go to the inspect element and let's notice what's the dimension of our screen. And as we can see, this column LG6 has been already applied. And what it does, it what it does that we have the row of the 12 grids, and it has like it has like gathered the 6 column space in the 12th row and the 6 column space in the 12th row. So that's not a very good looking thing. So what we can do here is that we can try to make it 2, so that less space should be gathered, like like 2 columns, and for another product the 2 columns must be specified, so the 2 columns, and so on. Now let's try to copy this new one, and paste it over here. And so now we can have a good effect, I guess. Okay, so now it's too much scattered because the size of the 2 columns is like 25%, and this image is taking a greater viewport than the size defined on the column 2. So let's make it 3, and we can check this by checking the size and also redeveloping it. And let's try to, okay, much better. Let's make it 4. So 4, yeah, so we can have like 3 products in a row, and that's fine. It's much better than having 2 products in a row, I guess. Okay, so it's gotta be 4, 4, 4. Okay, let's test this out. Yeah, so it's much better looking, and I'm not very much happy with the spacing here, I guess. So what I can do here Now, instead of applying the margin on the in the CSS property, Bootstrap has also provided us the utility of spacing. And I want to show you that utility, and it's a very good thing. Let me close this one and let me show you the spacing utility. If I write here spacing, margin, and padding, go to this link. And as you can see here, we got this utility with a beautiful, classes given to us. So if you want to apply the margin, it has this class called M and this class called P. And for the sides that you want from the top or you want from the bottom, you want from the start or the end, or you want from x-axis to mean like from both left and right. It's gonna be it's gonna do for both left and right, from both the start and from the end, and also from the y from the top and from the bottom. It's going to give the number to both the top and to the bottom. And now what number you want to give. So it has also said that, okay, if you're going to give 1, you're going to get like 2.5. If you're going to get 2, you're going to get 0.5 spacing, so forth and so forth. Okay. Now let's try to give some margin to this one, to this heading, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say M, and then followed by M, and then followed by Y. M means margin, Y means from top and also from the bottom, dash, and I'm going to give it like 2. Now let's check this up. See, there you go. Now I want to give a little more. So I said, so let me repeat this one. M stands for the margin. Y stands for the margin from the top and from the bottom. And the 2 means that it has a specified value of 0.5 spacing as per the Bootstrap units. So let's give it 3. And I'm going to refresh this one as well. So there we go. Now it's much better like that. So let's try to copy this up and let's produce more like this. I'm gonna say 3. It's gonna be 3. It's gonna be 3. Now let's try to refresh this up. Well, that's very much not good, right? I mean, yeah, it is good that we got like. Let me just Okay, okay, okay. Leave that one. So I'm very happy that, okay, I got like 3 products in a row, and that's very sophisticated view. But I'm not happy with the spaces. And giving spaces to everything is not a very good idea as well. So right now, what the mistake that I've done, I want to show you those mistakes as well, because meanwhile I'm developing this, we're all going to figure out the mistakes during the design development, and we all are ended up with these kind of problems. So don't worry about that. It's gonna be beneficial for you as well. So when we have pasted up those projects, when we have inserted these card views into the rows, so what we were saying that, okay, copy that card in this row, in this div, that is taking the space of 4 columns. And then we did the same in the second one, and then we did the same in the third one, so the 12 columns are filled up. Now, one thing that comes into my mind is that if it is filled up, then we cannot, if we can, I mean, we can do the same under the next row, but then it's going to get, it's gonna get sticked up to the above layer, because the row is finished, so it's gonna send it to the next spacing, or to the next, you can say, next row at the same row. Like, the row is full now, 12 columns are occupied. Now we are going to add the other columns, so it's not gonna go further, so it's gonna be very much sticked up to the above product. So what is the right way to do that? So what am I going to do here? I'm going to cut all these extra copied. And now what I'm going to do here is that my first row is finished. Okay, my first row is finished. So what should I do now? Hopefully it will work, because this is the problem that always occurs. So yeah, I've copied that to the next row. Let's try to test this one. Okay, so it's still sticked up. But now what's the thing? Okay, so the problem is still there. No problem. That's okay. Let's redo what we have done. Now, this problem occurs because as we know that it's going to get sticked up with the upper views, with the upper products. So the best thing that we can do here is going to start from the, from the scratch for the next three products. So what's the best practice that we can do? Okay, so we got three here and we got three for the other line. So I can add a line separator, that is the BR. It's not that line separator that it shows, but it's like, for the next, like a little bit spacing between the, between the upper horizontal line and the bottom horizontal line. You can also use the line height, but BR is also fine. I mean, it just got the standard pixels. So let's check this out. Okay, still not working. That's strange. Now we got to analyze the problem that we have. So how can we analyze this one? Now, this is a very beautiful thing that we are getting mistakes like this. So let's analyze by this inspect element. Now this is the one, this is the one, and this is the one. And also the line is not like, displaying, and then it is like sticked up with this. So what we can do here to the BR, what we can do with this BR, so that it gives us that separation between these products to give a little room to breathe. So what we can do here is that I can give this a class, and let's give it like my3. Now it's not working as well now in this as well. Okay, that's not the problem. What if it's the HR? Okay, now the HR is creating the space, but that's not what we want, right? So what we can do, BR is not working, HR is working, but we don't want this line. It's not very good looking. So what we can do here, okay, let's think of another thing. So what we can do, we have applied the BR, that's not working. Okay, fine, no problem. We have applied the HR is working, but the line is showing, and we don't want that because that's very odd looking. It's killing all of the beautiful work of the bootstrap. So what we can do here is that we can apply the div, I guess. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's say this is a normal div, and if I apply the class of margin y3, and if I refresh this one, boom, as you can see, it's working now, fine. And also yeah, this is all what we need. So let's make it to, so that little bit less space. Yeah, no, that's fine, that's more fine. Let us analyze this one. Yeah, it's now looking much more good than that. So when are we going to process this in the JSP? Like, right now the JSP is being rendered up and is coming into the HTML so that our browser can read it. But when it's going to be like processed in the JSP, we're going to only use the one view, and then we're going to insert that into the iteration of the products that we are getting from the database. Now, our homepage looks okay, not very promising, but okay. The most viewed products are being shown, and then when we click on some button, it's going to go somewhere, and then shows us the full tail of that product. Now we'll do designing with that. We'll do the designing will be getting on when we are going to do that. So for right now, let's deep dive into the project, because we are now ready with our bootstrap full loaded website. So Let's get on to this. Let me just open up my pad so that we can work on this one as well. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna use this old school paint. So we got this website, and we are gonna launch some systems for the user to online purchases. So we're gonna work on some things, right? So what are the main models, or what are the main you can say entities, to be more specific, that are much useful to our system? Yes, please.
What do you mean, brother?
Yeah, I'm saying that entities by, I mean, like
Yeah,
users,
for
like,
our shop,
yeah. So what things do you so what are those major entities that you think might
the
get
actors, you
useful?
mean?
Yeah, exactly, the actors. What kind of actors that will be associated with our project? So what do you think about that?
I think a user, a website admin.
Okay, that's very good of you. The user, let me just pop it out over here, and I'm gonna write this one. Let's call this where is this? Okay, let's call this user. Okay, and after the user, what's the next thing after the user?
Website admin. I mean the person that adds things to the website.
Yeah, you were right. There are going to be like two persons. That's the admin and also the buyer. And the admin can
Yeah.
update the products and do all that things. But that's the admin, and you're right. You're absolutely right. But the fact is that the admin and the buyer, they both are the users. So it can refer to up to a single actor, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So let's think of another thing. Like, what other major things can be useful to our system? Let's think of another thing. What other major things do you think can be useful to our product? Okay, so can card be do you think the card can be a major entity in our system?
No, how come?
Yes.
It's a food store, right?
Yeah, I mean, the card refers to like you can say a basket that can hold up the products that the
Ah,
user has
cart,
bought.
cart.
Yeah.
I thought it's a car.
No, it's the card, CART
Yeah,
card.
yeah, cart.
Yeah. So, okay, the card can also be a useful entity in our system. The user can be a useful entity. The card can be the useful entity. But what the card is holding, I mean, what is inside the card?
Products,
Products, right?
products.
Very good, very good. You're right. Let me just create that over here. So this is the main thing that we'll be working on. That is the products. Okay. So we have the user, we have the products, we have the card, and what other things do you think that can be useful in this sense as well?
Uh, can addresses be something? The shipping addresses.
Mm, okay, so yeah, okay, that's the good thing as well, that because if the user is gonna check out, he's gonna give his information. So we say like bills, I guess, the bills of each shopping, or the
Mm.
shopping information. What do you think? What should we refer this entity to? How should we call this entity? The bills or the shopping history? What do you think?
Shopping, I think.
Shopping history,
It's
right?
more
So,
general.
okay, so shopping, I guess, history. Yeah, okay. Shopping history is also a useful entity. Okay, so we have the users, we have the products, we have the cart, we have the shopping history of that user. That if he's going to buy something from the like from the history, or if he's going to check out, then the shopping history will be saved with us, his address, his phone number, email, whatsoever one I required from the user as well. Now we got the four things, but still I guess some things are like, some things are missing. What do you think? Maybe we can add one more thing to our scenario. What do you think?
I'm thinking.
Okay, so let me give you this hint. The user can select the products, and those selected products will be added to the cart of the specific user. Now, the user, when he's going to check out, all of that billing is going to get into the shopping history. But how the user is going to get those products? I mean, his shopping history is created, but the user needs to give us something in order to get his all shopping.
Payment.
Exactly, the payment. So the payment is also a very useful thing when we are building e-commerce website, or when we are building, for instance, uh, you know, uh, any kind of online shopping, like you can say any Amazon store, for instance. So every website that consists of an online shopping must have a payment method, and we also call it a payment gateway. So I can call this like payment gateway. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's enough. We all have we have the users now, we have the products, we have the cars, and with the shopping history, and we got the payment gateway of the user. Now let's get to these things now. So let's do some little bit brainstorming on how these things work and how these things get to the final state. So the user can, if we draw this line, so the user can select the product. Let me just, so the user can select this product, and then that product, the selected product is going to get to the cart. So the product is going to get to the cart. It's going, just wait a second. So it's going to be stored inside the cart. Now, another thing that I'm thinking about this scenario is that when the user selects the product, now here's the catch, and a very important catch that we must analyze, that the user can be an anonymous user, and the user can also be the part of our system. So for instance, if we go to any e-commerce website, and we decide that we want to buy some stuff. So for instance, I go to like AliExpress. I hope you're familiar with the AliExpress website. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Hmm. Hello? Okay. I think we got some problem. Okay. Okay. So as I was saying that as I was saying that the product is going to get stored inside the card. But now here's the catch. When any user visits any website like Alibaba or AliExpress, they're most of the times they're anonymous users and they select the products and their product is stored in their cards. Now, one thing that we need to analyze is that the card will be the card's information will be stored inside the cookies. See, because let's say I'm a user, I'm an anonymous user. I visit a website called for instance, any online website, for instance, AliExpress or Alibaba.com or Amazon store. Now, as an anonymous user, I select many of the products. Like I selected, for instance, a mobile phone. I selected, for instance, some snacks to eat. And after that, what I do that after selecting 2 or 3 products, those products are stored onto my card. Now that card will have the ID assigned to it to any anonymous user. And after accepting the cookies, the user will accept the cookies. Then those cookies are going to get stored inside the browser. And when the user revisits you can say, the website, though that card, the data of the card stored inside the cookies will be populated to the website, and then we can show the user that he has selected previously. If he is from that specific device, I guess, or if he's from the specific IP address, or you can say, there are lots of ways to detect that one. But cookies can also be a favorable option. But if we do not cookies, we can also use the IP address of the user. And like there are multiple ways, but what I'm thinking, I'll be using cookies for the card information, and also the card information will be stored inside the database. Now, the user can view his card. Okay, the user can view his card anytime he want. And also so all the products are being selected. So when the user checkouts, so after the user checkouts, after the user checkout, so after the user's checkout, it's gonna make the shopping history, it's gonna make the whole bill. And after confirming it, it's gonna go to the payment gateway. It's gonna go to the payment gateway. Now this relation, now this path, or this flow between the shopping history module or shopping history entity and the payment gateway entity is going to be bidirectional. So what's going to happen after the shopping history is being made and stored onto the database? It's not confirmed yet, so it's going to get confirmed by the payment gateway. And when the user submits the payment, it's going to get redirected to the shopping history back. Now don't worry about the payment gateway. We're gonna implement a simple program that would allow the user to submit the money onto his profile, and then the user profile will have its balance, and then we'll then deduct from that balance. Don't worry about that. Or we're gonna do cash on delivery or something like that. So yeah, this is the sample flow of the project. And if you have any questions, please do let me know.
No, it is clear, brother. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So moving on, now we'll be heading to create a database. So I'll be using phpMyAdmin as the database because it's the same MySQL server. So I'm going to open up the Apache. I'm going to start my Apache server. Let me open that up. Also going to start my SQL server. So it's opened. Okay, so as we can see that our SQL server is running good on the port 3306. And now I'm going to open up that database. So now we'll be creating the database today. Okay, so let's open PHP my admin to create the database. It's gonna take some time, but hopefully it will start.
Excuse me, brother, how much time do we need more for the database?
The database will take like 10 to 15 minutes to create, but it depends. So how much time do you have now, brother?
The class started at 1:30, but I'm staying with you.
Okay, so your class is started?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't worry about the database. Don't worry. We'll just conclude today's session.
Yeah, let's make another session for the database specifically.
Yeah, of course.
It's better, right?
Yeah, so we'll do the database on tomorrow's session, and I'll upload this session as well with the previous sessions. So let's conclude what we have done today. And if you have any questions, do let me know. Okay, so let's get started. So what we have done today, that we have learned how to apply multiple views of the same product. And as what we have done is that we have pasted this, we have copied this card view from the bootstrap, and store or paste it inside the column div. And then we have changed the column from 6 to 4, so that the whole row takes up the space, like each card is taking up the space of 4 columns. So 3 cards can take the space of 12 columns easily. And then we have also applied the same to the next as well. So now and also one thing that occurred with us, that we try to it was, these views were patched with these views were like attached with each other. The upper one was attached to the bottom one, and it was not the very good view. So what we have done here is that inside of our div, what we have done is that we created a div with a class of my2, and the my2 is actually the spacing utility from the bootstrap. And as we have seen earlier in the bootstrap, let me just show you this one, please. What is this is the best bootstrap utility that we can use. M for the margin, P for the padding, and T for the size, that whether you want to do it from the top, whether you want to do it from the bottom, from the left, or from the right. And also like the balanced utilities, like X is going to be from both the left and right, and Y is going to be from the both top and from the bottom. So we have used my3. We have used my2, I guess. Yeah, we have used my2, which means that, okay, add up the margin from the top and from the bottom. How much margin? Okay, it's the spacing utility 2 that applied to, which is 0.5, I guess. Yes, it's 0.5 spaces, and it is applied the space to the div, so that we have a little bit room to breathe between these views. So each line consists of 3 cards, and each card is taking up the space of 4 columns. And what if we inspect this element out and check if it is also responsive onto the mobile, and applying the other classes? So let's do this right now. And as we can see here, let me view my favorite one, my favorite mobile. It's the iPhone X. And let me just, oh, so small. Let's just make this 100. So as we can see, so what's going on here, that it has applied the full room to each of the spaces. And so now in this mobile scenario, each product is taking up the space of the 12 column. And when we switch up to the PC view, to the bigger screen, each product is taking up the space of 4 columns. So how cool is that thing? And how we have done this, we have used the small utility SM, MD, and LG as per the screen sizes vary. And one more thing that we can do here is that we can also, for the good thing, it's also a very good thing that we can do here is that, okay, we'll do that in the next time when we are going to check this out. But we can also add a little space or padding between each product as well, so that, when it's going to be onto the mobile side, it's going to be centered, and also a little padding onto their product so they are not, still aligned up to each other. But however, moving on, what we did after that, we have decided a plan to to add these modules. And what is happening here is that we have decided that our project will be consisting of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 entities, and each entity will be the part of our system. So the user can select the products. The products are going to get stored inside the car. User, if anonymous or part of the system, can view his card easily. If anonymous, it's going to be stored inside the cookies. And if it's the part of the system that we are not going to store, we're not going to use cookies. We are going to store his card inside of our system, because why we are going to use cookies if it's the part of our system? So also, if the user checks out, it's going to be checked out inside the shopping history. And while checking out, we're going to store this card inside the session as well, so we can get that card easily, instead of recalling the database again and again, if part of the system or if not part of the system, just in that checkout procedure. However, when the bill is created, when the shopping history is created, it should be confirmed. The shopping history should be confirmed. The confirmed means it is paid, and non-confirmed means it's not paid. So the status can be changed also from the admin panel as well. So the shopping history is going to get to the payment gateway, and after reconfirming with the payment gateway, it's gonna return the status that whether the user has paid or not. And based on the payment successful procedure, it's gonna confirm the shopping history or not. So this is the whole conclusion of our system. And let me just take the screenshot of this whole thing, and then share with you guys so that we can know that what we are doing, then that will be a part of our system. So I'm sharing this. Okay. So any questions, my brother?
No, brother, it's very clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So I've shared this into the group, and I hope that we'll be more doing inside the project. And I'll upload all the sessions. I'll edit all the sessions and then upload them. So I'll also share the link so that you can watch these sessions again. And if you have any doubts, if you have any confusions, please do let me know inside the group, and I'll love to host you all.
Inshallah, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much.